Hello, friends, and good time zone, and what is up, gamers? Hi, everyone. Today is an interesting day. I was just making my tea, and I saw out the kitchen window. I just saw like a shape dart across the road out my kitchen window, and I was like, "What's that? What's that?" It was too small to be a car, and it was going at the wrong speed, but it wasn't a person, it was a Dalmatian dog. It was just a very rambunctious Dalmatian dog darting across the street. Maybe they're on their way to the doggy park. I don't know, but it wasn't on a lead, and I didn't see its human. I'm hoping its human was right there, because otherwise, oh no! But also I got to see a doggy, and that's always nice. Anyways, hi everyone. Welcome in. How are y'all doing? It's lovely to see you. This is not the artwork we're working on. This is the artwork that I finished. Here they are in glorious watercolor. It's our gnome husbands having a nice little moment by the fire in the woods with the night sky, which I love. I love the way that effect turns out. I feel like this really feels like a night sky somewhere where there isn't a lot of light pollution, and I'm happy with that. Anyways, that's not what we're working on today. Autofocus, come on. Okay, that's better. Anywho, hello Joe, welcome in. Hello Turnip, hello. It's lovely to see y'all. It's lovely to be here. I've got my pencil and eraser because I haven't quite finished the sketch for today's piece, but it shouldn't take too long because while it is bookshelves, it's a long skinny bookshelf. Oh god, now the light is just not gonna balance for this at all. Off flip. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to deal with it. It's gonna get colored in pretty dark pretty quickly, I think. But it's a bookshelf, and I just want you to note that there is indeed an owl here sipping on a cup of tea next to a stack of books on the bookshelf. Because that's what I felt like doing. Anyways, I'm gonna pop this bookmark over to one side. I am thinking of if I like these, they might become bookmarks in the shop. I don't know. If other people like them, then they definitely will. But we shall see. Which I do have, by the way. Here's a link. Anyways, in the meantime, you will also note that after my dental surgery, which I did on Monday, which is why I wasn't on stream on Monday, because I was busy feeling like, oh, just the most ass. I felt so super bad. It was, yeah, but it's done. My tooth mostly doesn't feel too large for my mouth anymore, so I think any swelling is... There's definitely still some swelling in there, but it's feeling a lot better. I can eat food now, which is great. I've missed eating food. I'm gonna have a salad on the weekend. I've never been so excited to eat salad in my life. I haven't had raw vegetables properly in like I don't know, a month, maybe 2 months at this point. I've been avoiding anything sort of like very crunchy and fibrous for fear of, effing up my tooth. But I think I can have salad now, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have salad now. I might put some, like, raw apple slices in it and everything just to make it super autumnal and fancy. But after my dental surgery, I treated myself to something, and that is these two decorative gourds, which I love dearly. I think they're so cute. They serve no functional purpose, because they're not... Also, they look significantly more yellow on camera, at least on my monitor, than they do in real life, which is weird. This one is much more of like a rich pumpkin-y orange, and the green is much like deeper and not as sort of yellowy. Nonetheless, decorative gourds, baby. It's that time of year, and I am so happy about it. I very much am the target audience of its decorative gourd season. I don't know. Just having little pumpkins around just brings me so much joy. I always buy a pumpkin for myself to like cook and bake with this time of year as well. It's, but it's like a properly sized pumpkin. It's like weighs like, I don't know, like a couple of kilograms, I guess. I also buy it like a month before I intend to use it, so that I can just look at it and be like, oh, that's my pumpkin. I named it Pumpy, and it's very... I'm very pumped about having this pumpkin. Very excited indeed. So, I've got my paint water. I'm going to use these paints again because these are the ones that I used for the other bookmark, and they're thematically very different, but I feel like since I'm doing them at the same time, that it would be nice to have them a little bit of aesthetic consistency between the two in terms of like color scheme and what have you. I don't know why. It's a good seasonal like autumn winter color set anyways, so like whatever. I'm going to scoot these slightly to one side so I don't knock over my paint. Actually, I'm not using my paint water yet, so it's going to go over here. I'm very intelligent. And I'm going to drink one of my beverages, which is the one I made earlier, which is hot chocolate, kind of. It's Milo. So it's hot chocolate, but it has like vitamins and malted powder in it. I don't know. Anyways, it also contains cocoa and sugar, but also it has added like iron and vitamin B6 and stuff. I don't know what's in it. It's good for you stuff. Anyways, how's everybody doing? How have your weeks been? I've missed getting to hang out with you. It feels like it's been way too long. Anytime I have to like not stream for a day, it always feels like the gap between streams is just, it's too long. It makes me feel sad because I like hanging out with y'all. It's nice. But, oh, the other thing, I've been working on my sewing project. And I am now at the point where what are you attached to? What do you, oh, it's stuck to the inside of the tin. But I've now gotten to the point where I am setting in the arm gusset for my sleeves. So I need to stitch down this bit, and then stitch down the length of the sleeve to probably about here, or maybe here, I don't know, however big I want the arm opening to be in front of like the cuff. And then all this stuff gets gathered into the cuff, so it's a nice big poofy sleeve, which I'm very excited about. And then I have to do it all again, because obviously I have two arms. Anyways, Pigeon, hi, welcome in! Thank you for the 3 stream steak. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday. It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. And Turnip, thank you very much for the lurk. Have a lovely, lovely lurk. Thank you, thank you. I am going to sketch in some stuff. I have not decided whether or not I want to add any like additional gubbins besides books to the bookshelves. Do we want to have like a couple of shelves where it's just books? I feel like I don't know, people like, I don't want to over ornament it, but I also don't want to under ornament it. Life's hard. And I think what I also want to do with this shelf is actually do like a stack of books that is lying down. These books are tired. So they're taking a nap, and that's okay. Is this going to be a somewhat precariously teetering stack of books? Maybe. Hopefully not. Hopefully it'll stay steady and not fall over onto this poor little owl that's next to it. But I think our owl will be okay. In case you're wondering, the type of owl that this is the Ruru, or also known as the moorpork, which how the heck does an owl get a name like moorpork? That just sounds like when you're eyeballing a recipe for sausage. And they're like, do you want us to add some rusk? And you're like, no, more pork. I don't know. I just think it's an interesting name. But they're also cute little owls, so I thought that'd be nice. I don't know. We associate owls with like being learned. So it felt appropriate that if I'm going to make something that has a mild sort of, academic feel to it, that we can have a studious little owl sipping a cup of tea and just sort of curled up in a little sort of owl-shaped puffball on the shelf, because why not? They should have a name. Their name is, Desmond. This is Desmond, the owl. Why not? Anyways, I think I am just going to do, because I also put, in the top shelf here, I decided to do a little terrarium. So there's some little, like, mossy growths here, and there's a little sprout and some dirt, because I think terrariums are fun. I don't know. People like terrariums. I'm trying to do things that people like, but I also like, which it's not always that much of an overlap, to be perfectly honest. I don't know, where's my brain at lately? Like, Star Trek fan art. But I can't just sell Star Trek fan art, and I can't just post Star Trek fan art. I mean, I can, and I am, but, you know, I also like doing other things. Like, I did do this little drawing of the two little boys from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. They're going fishing. Because I thought it would be cute. Samantha, hi, welcome in. All Star Trek all the time. Here's Janeway. This is why older viewers might remember there was a while ago where I posted on Blue Sky, what do you consider to be Captain Janeway from Star Trek Voyager's most iconic hairdo? Is it the bob or is it the bun? And the bob just, like, barely won out, and so here she is drinking a cup of coffee. Because if that woman has a true love in this world, it is cups of coffee. Anyways, hi Samantha, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you, and hi. Tea, Earl Grey, no cup. Just pour it directly into your mouth. That sounds like a mistake. Anywho. Okay, I'm gonna, I think because there's a fun little creature on this shelf, and there's a fun little, like, there's flora and fauna represented on the bookshelf. I think I'm gonna have the other two bookshelves just be books, because really that's what it's all about, is bookies. So let's do some bookies. This is a tall book. Trying to create some kind of semblance of randomness here, and doing probably a horrible job with it, but this book is so old that it is slightly it's just slightly on the piss. It's the spine doesn't quite, it's got a bit of a curvature to it. It's fine, don't worry about it. It's fine. This one's a little bit skinnier. Janeway's loves cups of coffee and murdering crew members born of transporter malfunctions. Oh, biddle boy. Actually, I was thinking about this the other day, Samantha. As you do, because these are the things that I think about, apparently, in my mind brain. I was genuinely thinking the other day about one thing that we really don't see. And this is, I think, just symptomatic of the way that episodic TV of this kind tends to be, is that so for anyone who doesn't know, there's a famous episode of Star Trek Voyager called Tuvix, in which the characters of Tuvok and Neelix are fused together in a transporter malfunction into a single being, who they just portmanteau their name together and call him Tuvix. And then when the captain has the opportunity to, like, restore the two people to their previous form, the newly formed, like, combined person is like, but I don't want to. I like being this guy. And eventually she does it anyways, after sort of wrestling with the ethics of it and deciding, well, F those, I'm gonna do it anyways because I miss my friends. So effectively she murders this guy in order to restore her two crew members. And the thing that bothers me is that we never really find out, we never get into how do those two crew members feel about what she did to their combined being. And I feel like that's something that is going to have some measure of, even if they don't have a lot of memories of having been that guy together, it's going to have some kind of lasting, like, psychological, ramifications for them. Like, do they get any counseling for this? Do they talk to anyone? Do they talk to each other about it? I don't know, because the show doesn't tell me. It's bothered me since the 90s. Anyways, I mean, I get missing Tuvok. He is a nice Vulcan man, who is one of the captain's best friends, but wanting Neelix back, who is the annoying guy who everyone doesn't like as much on the show. I think he does have some good episodes, though. I do. Is he my favorite? No. Do I think the actor is doing his best as a character who is, like, designed in a lab to be annoying? Yeah, I do. But, like, damn. Anyways. Could they not have just done a Will Riker and Transporter cloned him, then killed the clone? I mean, that's still killing a guy, because the clone is a guy. I just, you know, Samantha, I just watched a Deep Space Nine episode where it's like episode 2 or 3 of the show. And just as a matter of, like, la-di-da, in the course of literally trying to investigate, like, a crime or something, they just clone a guy. I don't want to give away too much in case you haven't seen it, but they just clone a guy. And they're like, well, yeah, in a day or so, this blob of cells I have in this tank here will be a functioning adult Bajoran clone of this guy who I guess will just get to go off and live his life. And I just so they just clone this guy. And then they just send the clone off to just go seek his fortune in the galaxy, I guess. Which is just... And it's never brought up again. Like, is this just normal? Do they just do that all the time? Like, is that not... I feel like there's just should be more significant ramifications to I just created a clone of this person who, you know, has, like... I don't know how, like, self-aware they are of the fact that they're, like, a clone of this specific guy, or if he's got, like, his own new clone guy sort of personality and whatever. To just go out into the world and seek his fortune, I guess? But, like, how does that even work? Is he gonna just go to his home planet and get, like, a passport and a job? And they're all just gonna be like, oh, they cloned that guy, and that's you. Okay, cool, hi. Welcome on in. Like... I'm sorry. It just broke me a bit. Because it seems like something that has much larger implications than they ever address. They're just like, okay, we made a man. Bye. Just send him on his way. What the nuts? Anyways, hi Gumby, welcome in. I'm so sorry this is the conversation you've come into. Or you're welcome? Depending on your viewpoint, I guess. Anyways, hi. But yeah, so that's where my brain's been. I don't know, maybe that guy will secretly get tapped to join Section 32 or whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry. Anyways, where's my brain? So yeah, I've got a Milo, and I've also got a second beverage, which is my tea, which is, as you can tell, it's, well, you can't, it's turmeric and pineapple. Because I'm still feeling a little bit under the weather. So I felt like I should, maybe have something that's a little bit, anti-inflammatory. And also turmeric tea is delicious. Specifically turmeric tea that also has pineapple in it, which is, a winning choice if ever there was one. Do I sometimes occasionally make a book that's really big? Just because I want to fill up the space without having to draw too many more books? No-ish. Okay, that book's too large. Hold up. This book too large. Let's try that again. My initial pencil lines of like the shelf itself, I think, were a little bit too faint. But if I make this book a little bit thinner, then I can just kind of have it balancing on those two other books on the shelf. Yay, good job me. Now the spine is a little uneven, so let me fix it. Okay, it's fine. It's gonna get painted a dark color. You won't see my terrible wobbly pencil lines. It's all good. Okay. One more. Bookie books. Bookie books. An excellent array of shapes and sizes, if I do say so myself. And now I'm going to have you really shouldn't store your books on their sides like this. Like, you really shouldn't. It's not good for their spines. But aesthetically, when you're drawing them, it's a great choice because it looks real cute. So there you go. Yay! We've done it. Okay, cool. Now I can start painting. Yay. I think, where's my green boy? I'm gonna start with the green boy, I think. And once again, here is the 1930 set from Choosing Keeping, which is what I'm going to be painting with today, because I just think they're really good colors for this time of year, and it's a really nice palette. So yeah. I'm gonna start with, I'm just gonna do like the bits at the back in this sort of like shadowy brown hue, because I feel like you can't really see that much of them, and they're not gonna be very well lit, so that ought to do nicely. And then hopefully everything will stand out nicely from them. Cool. Anyways, I'm trying to think if I've got anything else interesting or exciting to report from this week. I think I mostly spent the week like resting, so not really. I finished the other bookmark. That was exciting, I suppose. And other than that, this is all I've drawn. So I've been sewing. I have, in addition to the shirt that I started recently, I've also got, that is so thick. Ah, shoot. Okay, hold up. I've also got a dress that I purchased that, I'm doing a little bit of alteration on. Just because, it's really, really cute, but because most ready-made garments, I think, are designed for someone of, sort of average height and size, and I am short and round. So usually when I buy things that are meant to be a bit more fitted, that there's a little bit of adjustment that needs doing. Oh my god. I can hear what sounds like a continuous tone coming from outside. Now, I used to have a regular continuous tone coming from outside because I think one of my neighbor's doorbells was screwy. But they fixed the whole doorbell system for, like, the building. Like, they installed a new doorbell. So why the nuts can I hear a tone? I hope you can't hear it. If you can hear a tone, chat, let me know. I don't know there's that much I can do about it, except maybe, like, I can try and find some music. I can try and put some music tracks on in the background of the stream. I don't know how well that will work, but I can certainly try. To do that. Anyways, because wow, yeah, that's audible. Uh-oh. There was a point at which it was basically stuck on that tone for like days, weeks maybe, I feel like. It's not as bad as when when a neighbor's car was just sat in the driveway near our house with the motor running for, I want to say, at least 12 hours. They'd apparently, I guess, like driven home in that vehicle and then left again in a different vehicle and just left they just left the car running with the keys in it. So, you know, like, it was locked. And it was just like that for like 12. You know, personally, if it were me, if my car was just running, I would have been in somewhat more of a rush to get home. 'Cause, like, anything can happen, y'all. You know, what if it rolls off of the driveway and, like, into a building? What if it crashes into the front of your house? What if it blows up? I don't know. What if it just wears the battery down and then you've got to contend with that? Like, all of the variables suck. I don't know what they do for work, but, like, I would have been in much greater of a hurry to come home and, like, sort that out personally, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. Anyways, never mind. I feel like the painting of bookshelves implies that I read more books than I actually do. But it's not quantity, right? It's quality. I certainly would never be part of, like, the I read books corner of social media, where you've got, like, maintaining a public list and here's how many books I read this month and that kind of thing. And I don't know, it feels too competitive. It feels too competitive, and sometimes I'm not a super fast reader as a general rule, but partially I'm not a super fast reader because I want to, like, I'm reading it in a dramatic, do other people, like, when you're reading novels and stuff, do you read it in, like, a dramatic narrative voice? Or do you just, like, process the words that are happening? You know, are you reading it in the sort of, do you have a narrator voice in mind when you're reading a book? Like, does your brain do the character voices? Because sometimes that kind of demands that, like, I can't just read it super quickly. Because I'm like, no. I have to give it the pace that the narrative deserves. You know? I have to read it at the speed that I would want the movie to be playing out in my mind, which is at, like, 1-to-1 speed, not, like, 1.5 speed. Or 2 times speed. So I can't read things that fast. Anyways. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But also, just generally, I don't read a ton of novels these days. As someone with an English degree, I think, and anyone who's done, like, sort of a literature degree or done a lot of, like, literature and that kind of thing, it can kind of burn you out on, like, new novels for a while. And when I say a while, I mean, like, oh my god, 15 years has it been? Not far off. Yeah, I think I got my degree in, like, 2010. Jesus. Well, never mind. But that isn't to say that I don't read. I read quite a lot. Just not necessarily the kinds of things that, like, I would do book reviews about, because it's like, yeah, I read the blurby bits of this cookbook. Or this genuinely excellent Star Trek fan fiction that's basically just its own story, and it's set in, like, the 1960s, and it's really cool. Anyways. I don't remember the name of it, sorry. But it's really good. Anyways. But yeah. I also find that, I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but when I'm like deep into writing mode, I have trouble just like getting super immersed in like other people's novels. Um, Unfortunately, I'm almost always deep into writing mode. So it makes it really hard to like step out and be like, okay, I think the only exception of recent of like novels that I've read is like Woodhouse. Um because unless I was writing like a Woodhouse pastiche, it's not very likely that I'm going to subconsciously be influenced by Woodhouse's writing style because it's so distinct. Um I'm not afraid that I'm going to accidentally absorb his turns of phrase and use them in my own work, not having meant to, you know what I mean? But that's kind of what scares me, is that like I'll pick up on someone else's uh literary mannerisms, I guess, like subconsciously, and then start using them. And then my writing sounds like theirs instead of mine, and I don't want people to be like, wow, this sounds really derivative of this other writer. Like, that feels bad, and it definitely wasn't on purpose. Um, but there's always that fear. It's like when you read a lot of works in a specific genre and you start noticing all of the places where, like, ah, you definitely cribbed this turn of phrase from the same place that everyone else cribbed this turn of phrase, because my god, everyone who writes this genre is using this one turn of phrase all of a sudden. Somebody wrote it and everyone thought it was cool and now everybody's doing it. I don't want to do that. I don't. That would feel bad. So I don't want to. Or at least I'd quite like to avoid it if at all possible. Okay, I'm gonna go this way because I very much do not want to accidentally smudge my paint. But yeah, I'm definitely not imagining that there's a tone coming in from outside. I really hope you can't hear it. I'm gonna get real quiet for a second just in case. I can't tell whether or not you can hear it because there's something that's being picked up on the mic, but I think that might just be the fan from my computer. I hope it's not the tone. If it is the tone, I'm genuinely so sorry. And if the tone is like stream ruiningly prevalent, please do tell me so that I can rectify that situation and make it a more watchable experience for you. Because I'd much rather know that something is up and try and take steps to like correct it than not know that something's up. I have people just be like, wow, this is annoying, and then like leave. And then I don't know. That feels worse. So, anyways, I'm gonna try not to paint over my little owl guy. I hope this will be cute. I don't know. The thing about doing bookshelves is because I've painted quite a number of things that have bookshelves in them over the last like year and a half, I would say. And it's partially because I find it a very like cozy, comforting subject to paint. But it also seems to be something that people enjoy when I do it. But I also don't want to be too like, I don't want to get like repetitive and I don't want to get boring. So I hope it isn't that. But then there are some people out there who paint literally like nothing but the same thing. They just have like a subject and that's just what they do. I could not do that. Whether it's like, you know, dogs or big booby anime girls is a popular one. Or trees or birds. Or buildings. I have too much of an attention deficit creatively to stick to a single subject. Ooh, speaking of subjects, I was trying to figure out whether or not I'm actually eligible to do it, but I decided to enter the V&A's illustration. Like, they apparently the V&A have an annual like illustration award competition, and I was like, screw it. Entry is free. So I'll enter some illustrations. But I don't know how hard they count because I haven't done I haven't done like paid commercial illustration in so many years. Partially because, like, business-wise, I don't even know how I'd go about getting an agent for something like that. I don't know if an agent would even take me on, or they'd be like, no, your art sucks, nobody wants it. Um, which, you know, if that's like the commercial market, then fine. But yeah, anything that I did that I pretty much before I moved to the UK, I think. I was specifically approached by people who knew me and or knew my work and was like, "Hey, um, we have like a membership campaign coming up. Could you draw us like a mascot for it?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, it will cost this much," and then invoice them, and then they will pay me that money, and then I will paint it. But yeah, that hasn't been for such a long time that I don't have anything that I've illustrated for like a commercial client in the last year. Um, so I was like, well, technically self-publishing counts. If I post it on Instagram and my website, that's a self-publish. So I'm entering the Illustrator competition. Please give me attention, and who knows, maybe they'll be like, oh, we like this little painting of a ghost. We'll shortlist it. Who knows? Anyways, Samantha says, big movie anime girls, you say? Listen, it's a popular genre. I see many arts of it when I look through the art feeds on my social media. And why not, I say? Draw whatever makes your heart happy. And anime girls are cute. I will not be drawing them, but partially because I don't think that my art style lends itself to anime. Though, the women's that I have drawn in the course of my doing human portraiture have varying bust sizes, because people do. Anyways. Sorry if get quiet. Mildly focused on not accidentally putting my hand into paint. Also programming note, we're skonging again tomorrow morning. Hoping to make some progress. I don't know what's next, but I think it'll be a fun time. I think last time we met Craig, if memory serves. Craig or Craig. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. I feel like it's a creative spelling of Craig, if I had to guess. Because his name is like Creige, Craig. But he was nice. He has a little cozy little tavern situation, which was very nice. I feel like we're probably about, I don't know, 10% into the game at most. Like, this game is long, and I am slow as molasses. But hopefully next time we'll get to explore some fun new areas and get some new thingies, boss fights to do. Maybe we'll even beat them in under 3 hours. Who knows? Anyways. Okay. Yay! Is it starting to look like a bookshelf yet? I hope so. I hope so. Voxel says, I am transitioning. Congratulations to digital instead of physical. Congratulations! I assume you mean art and not like your body. But regardless, congratulations! I hope that you have fun with it. Do you have did you get like a tablet and like a new tablet or something? I do technically have a tablet. My partner bought it for us and for me specifically to like attempt to do like digital illustration on, and I tried it once and I was like, I hate this. I hate this. It feels all bad. I think I think I think probably what I need to do is just get one of those covers that gives it somewhat more of like the tooth of working against like a papery surface rather than like the smooth glass surface of a tablet. Um, and also futz around with like the sensitivity of the pencil for it, because yeah, trying to do it last time, I was like, wow, everything I attempt to do is bad and ugly. I'm a terrible artist. And I feel like transitioning from physical art to digital art feels so much harder than going from, say, like watercolor to oil painting. It's like learning how to hold a pencil all over again. I hated it. I hated it so bad that I haven't tried it again because it was awful. It just I don't like suddenly being really bad at art. I really don't. Weirdly, that doesn't feel like inspiring and fun to me. That just makes me feel really sad. Um, you know? So I don't know. I feel like I need to put some additional accommodations in place before I make the attempt again. And generally, I don't have an overwhelming need to do it. The few times that I have used sort of digital drawing to do stuff, it's been when I have, for instance, had a piece and I haven't been able to figure out how to color it in. So I'll take like my pencil sketch, I'll take a photo of the pencil sketch, and then I'll just kind of like paint it in, um, using Procreate, and kind of use that as like a demonstration to see what I would prefer in terms of actually doing it, and then I will take that information and then do the painting. Um, but yeah, that's literally how I feel, says Voxel. It's like I'm learning to walk again. This sucks in a good way. Oh, I'm glad at least it's fun for you. Voxel says, I draw furry men. This field is dominated by digital art. So, I mean, fair enough. And also, if you're having fun with it, then that is super, super awesome. Um, very, very super awesome. And I hope that you have a good time. Um, but yes. Anywho. I would, I kind of feel, no one's ever commissioned me to do, like, a furry character. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that they never will, but, like, I super would. If someone was like, hey, can you draw, like, a little, I don't know, an ocelot in, um, like, 18th century working class, menswear, um, like, yes, please, I would love to do that. That would be super, super, super fun. I mean, it'll be in my art style, which I don't think is very popular in that community. Um, there seems to be like a style that is like, uh, popular, but I can only draw the way that I know how to draw. Other than that, I do a bad job. Anyways, until now, says Voxel, I'm joking. I'm broke AF. That's fair enough. You know what? You know what, Voxel? I'm broke AF too. By the way, I have a shop. Uh, it's just in case anyone in the chat isn't broke AF. I have a shop, but please don't like not pay for food or electricity or rent to buy stickers for me. It's not worth it. I mean, they're cool, but they're not that cool. Anyway, ocelot or ocelittle, says Samantha. Depends on whether or not they want a tall ocelot or a short ocelot. Top 10 most shameless plugs of 2025. I'm trying to get better at it, Voxel, because if I don't tell people I have a shop, then they won't know. And every time I do, I feel like a pang of shame because I'm just adding to like the noise of advertising and stuff, but also I'm super broke and scared about money all the time. And I have a lot of merch, and I would love to have slightly more room in my living room where the boxes of merch live. Oh boy, anyways. Draw Ocelot, the Metal Gear Solid character. I mean, if anyone has 5,000 channel points in their budget and wants to do a terrible drawing time of a Metal Gear Solid character, I can 100% guarantee to you that I won't know how to draw them. So I'll just make something up, and it'll probably be bad and inaccurate. And hopefully that's the fun of it. Do you just have a comically large closet full of semi-marketable plushies or something? Oh man, I wish I could design a plush. That would be heckin' amazing. Joe says, what you just said, please, terrible drawing time. Aw, jeez. I walked into that one. Well, I guess I'm drawing Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid. Oh no. I mean, you know exactly what's going to happen, probably. I did draw Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid once as a Secret Santa gift for someone whose favorite things were Metal Gear Solid and their favorite animal was an elephant, so I drew Solid Elephant. And that was a lot of fun. I have so many points, says Joe. Yay! And thank you very much for the hydrate as well. I shall indeed, do a hydrate. I love Metal Gear Solid so much you don't even know, says Voxel. Aww! I'm really happy that the show is just rich AF, apparently. They are definitely rich in channel points and spirit. I don't know and shall not inquire as to anyone's personal finance because that's none of my beeswax. But they are definitely rich in heart and being a delightful human being. Ow! I'm doing my posture check. Ow! I'm very stiff today for some reason. Oof, okay. So to introduce what the heck I'm doing to anyone who's new here, a terrible drawing time is a phenomenon that happens on stream whereby for 5,000 channel points I have 5 minutes or less to draw a character or concept of your choosing from memory or sight unseen on the terrible drawing canvas, which currently is this. And I'm sorry. But yes, I'm drawing Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid, but I only know what Ocelots look like, so guess what's about to happen. Okay, my phone is over here because it's been, okay, I'm not gonna passcode my phone or dox my notifications to you, but, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes on the clock, starting now. And it's going to head back over here because it is still charging. Okay, so, an ocelot is like a wild cat kind of situation. They're very cute. But I'm going to try and do Ocelot from Metal Gear. But for all I know, they might be an actual ocelot. I don't know that they're not. Like, they could just be a little catto. So guess what? I'm just gonna draw a little cat guy, I guess. And I hope that that's okay. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna give them some little tufts of hair. Just some little characterful fur at the top to make them look a little bit more people-y. Ah, shoot! Ads are coming up. Well, I'm just gonna snooze that. Just get that right out of the way. He meows and spins revolvers. Okay, so what I'm hearing from this is that I'm gonna need to draw, he's gonna have to have a revolver gun. Which, do I know how to draw? I am absolute boo-boo garbage at drawing guns, but I will do my best. Okay, so Ocelot's kind of, they've got like spots and stripes, so I'm gonna get some stripes going on his little face. Hopefully that'll be nice and cute, and then oh no, what's that he's got in his paw? It's gonna be some kind of gun. Is it going to be the right flavor of gun? I don't know. Probably not. I know guns are like this shape, and it's got a doodad and a thingy, and... Okay, that's it no longer looks like a gun, so it's, it's just... There, it says bang! That's how you can tell it's a gun. Wait, is that Sherma? No! Oh, that's Sherma, yeah. I'm definitely not drawing Sherma right now. Okay, so he's wearing his funky little sort of... He's got his little toe beans on his hands. And he's got little... I don't know. It's got kind of like somewhat of a human-shaped body, because I don't know how to draw cat's legs. But also kind of a human-shaped body. I'm gonna give him like a bandolier of gunny ammo stuff, because he's like a military little guy. And also a cool belt, and then also another cool belt, because he gets to have like several belts and stuff, because that makes you look badass, I feel like. And I don't know, he can have some little military gubbins on his sleeves, because I think they do. Maybe, oh, some epaulets. He can have some epaulets on his little jacket. And I'm gonna just give it a little sort of like notched collar, and a little bit of an open collar, because it's, I don't know, I don't know if these characters are like a bit slutty, but I just think that would be cute. And he's got just shorty little leggies, because I'm running out of space here, and oh shoot, he's gonna be wearing big old boots. Big old, I have to do big fights in these boots is what he's gonna be wearing, because that makes sense to me. I know one of the characters has an eye patch, but it's not this guy. So I'm not going to give this guy an eye patch. But I will. And you can't really see any of his spots, because he's wearing all of these... Oh, you know what? Okay, but he's like an anthropomorphic character guy. So, he's not wearing any trousers. A la, like, Porky Pig or Donald Duck, that kind of thing. So you can see the spots on his fur! I fixed it! Yay! He's just wearing his little military jacket and then some belts. And then he's just got his legs, which are just spotty. Spotty legs. 4 seconds! Okay, I did it! This is Ocelot Metal Gear. How did I do? I don't know anything about this character. But I hope it's okay. They're from a Kojima game, of course. They're slutty, says Samantha. Yeah, nailed it! Thank you! Thank you. Let me quickly pull up for us, if I can, Ocelot Metal Gear. Wow. Wait, is his name Revolver Ocelot? Because that's what it says here. Also, he seems to have 2 different looks. I don't know which look is the right one, but there's two looks showing up here. So we'll look at both of them. See how well I did. Let me just switch over to the... Ah, shoot. Okay, ads are trying to come up again. But we'll ignore that for just a second. And we will go to this screen. Yay! Okay, this is my Instagram. But let's ignore that for a moment and go have a little look-see at... So there's this look where he's got, like, short hair and a little hat. And then there's also this look where he's got, like, a little scarf and he's taken his jacket off. Both of them he has a gun, which looks kind of like the gun I drew, but not really. But, oh my god, he's got a bandolier! He's got a bandolier and he has at least 1 belt. So I feel like that's not too bad, right? Right? Anyways, compare and contrast Ocelot. How did I do, chat? I mean, in canon he's wearing trousers, but other than that, I feel like I'm very proud of myself for getting the bandolier. Good job, me. And Joe and indeed Voxel, I hope you're happy. I hope you're as happy as little Ocelot here, who is clearly a very happy little boy. I had fun doing that. That was really cute. Anyways, so thank you for that. Let us get back to painting. If I have time to do any painting before ads run. Ads are going to run in like a minute and a half. Revolver Ocelot, canonically wearing trousers. I mean, I feel like since he is a human man, I feel like it would be weirder if he was just like wearing like his little military jacket and stuff and no trousers. Can I rant about this dude asks Voxel? I mean, yes, but I'll have no idea what you're talking about because I've never played a Metal Gear game. But that being said, I ranted about an episode of Deep Space Nine earlier that probably most of the chat hasn't seen. It's still, they just clone a guy and just send him on his way. What the nuts? Winnie the Poohing it. Yes, he's Winnie the Poohing military wear. So Samantha, yes. Perfect. Wonderful. It's certainly a look. It's certainly a choice. Is it the one that I would make if I were wearing military? No, because I don't want people seeing my legs and bum and stuff. But hey, you know what? This man can do whatever he feels like. I like his little beret hat. Oh no, I missed DS9 chat, says Tals. I'm so sorry, but guess what? It won't be the last time I talk about DS9. Because it's very special to me. It is big special interest moment. Anyways, feel free to ask me questions about DS9. Anyways, I'll be back in just a minute. It's BRB time, so please enjoy the BRB music and do a little dance and yada yada yada. I'll see you very shortly. Sorry about the ads, but you ain't gonna miss anything. BRB, everybody. Hello. I'm back. Thank you for sticking around. Shall we paint in some of these books? I think we should paint in some of these books. I'm gonna use some of this nice, like, yellowy... The camera, the lighting is really blown out. Is it my light? No, my overhead light is on the lowest setting. It's still this blown out. But anyways, I'm gonna use this, like, ochre-y color, I think, to do some of the books. Because I think it'll be a nice vintage tome color. Hello, Rex. Rex says, you are a book. No, you. Anyways, hi. I hope you're having a lovely day. It's wonderful to see you and welcome. Let's paint in some books. I think I want these books to be like relatively sort of vibrant book spine colors rather than like brown, because like the bookshelf itself is going to be brown. So it would be neat if these like stood out a bit, I guess. I think that would be pleasant. I'm noticing a lot of resistance when I'm putting the paint down on this paper. I don't know, it's like pooling quite a bit, which it doesn't always do. It must be something to do with the sizing, I think. What does it mean? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's not like sinking in. It's like do you see what I mean? When I like brush and you see it's like not going on super evenly. It's like pooling in places. Until I kind of brush it a couple of times and like push it into the paper effectively, I suppose, which is kind of weird. But whatever. This is a really lovely color. I forget what the name translates to in English because all of the names are in Japanese because it's a Japanese paint set. But it is a lovely color. Anywho, Samantha says, Sammy Kelchin drawing and painting more books than is sensible in a single drawing. Name a more classic combination. Ah, heck. Ah, heck. So that's what I was talking about earlier about, like, just being on brand, but I also don't want to be too on brand where, like, I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over again and it gets repetitive and it gets boring and it's not fun to... It's not fun to look at the artwork anymore because it's like, okay, well, that's going to be the exact same thing again. Trying to be mindful of not doing that as best as I can, whilst also continuing to do things that I do genuinely enjoy. And I do genuinely find it quite, not therapeutic exactly, but quite sort of soothing, quite mindful to just paint in little book spines. I don't know, it's nice. It is pleasant. As far as subject matters go. Why is this paint acting like this? I don't know. I think it's not the paint, it's the paper. I feel like the sizing on the paper is like resisting the paint more than it normally does for this brand of paper. But I do have, I think I mentioned it a couple times before, but I do have, I have these two papers that I'm honestly really, really curious to test out against both each other and also against this, which is like my standard paper, which is, it's nice quality, but it's like, it's the brand that the art supplies shop makes, so it's cheaper than the fancy name brands. I'm kind of restricted in terms of the actual like paint papers that I can use because I paint everything in A6 format. I don't like going larger than that with my paintings. It just doesn't feel good for me to do larger format pieces than that. I don't know why. I just find I think it's because the line weight always feels out of proportion when I change the when I make the canvas size much bigger. The line weight ends up feeling out of proportion, and it's hard to get it to like the correct thickness. I don't know if that sounds like a stupid concern, but it is a concern for me. So here we are. There are quite a number of manufactories of paper that I know are really, really good, but don't go as small as an A6. And I know you can just buy like a thing of A5 paper, a thing of A4 paper, and just like cut it down to size, but I also don't like doing that. Because it's me, and I have a very... I feel very aware of the fact that there is a really, really good chance that I will F that up, and the paper will end up being slightly not quite exactly the same size as each other, or I'll like measure out the lines super precisely and then I go to like, you know, like cut the paper and it goes off a little bit and it's at a slight angle and oh no, I would really much rather in that case I think have paper that someone else has already done that work for me than to try and take larger sheets of paper and cut them down to size, which especially for the more expensive paper is probably much more economical. But here we are. No, I'm not gonna do it because it scares me. So, yeah. Anywho, I've got my sort of, this is a very orangey red, I find, but it is really lovely. It's sort of like a rusty red. Tis delightful. I'm gonna sip my beverages because my throat is not feeling fabulous today. I might not do a super long stream actually because my throat is not feeling super great. Oh no. I better not be coming down with something. I haven't been anywhere this week. I've just been at home recovering apart from like I visited the supermarket yesterday to buy like gluten-free pizza and frozen peas. I'm having peas for dinner tonight. Not just peas, obviously. Having some peas, some potatoes, some some other things. Come on, brain. Fish fingies. Having fish fingies. A very sophisticated meal if ever there was one. Like classic kids menu. Fish fingies, mashed potatoes, and steamed peas. But sometimes, especially on nights when I'm streaming, I don't really have a ton of time to put into doing like a super complicated gourmet meal. And so it just makes sense to do kids menu. Also, we like it. Tomorrow I'm doing, I think, maybe, I don't know, some fried rice or something. Got some tofu. Maybe a stir fry, I don't know, maybe a scrambled tofu. Something with tofu and a bunch of vegetables. That'll be nice. There we go. Yay! Why should only kids get fun food, says Samantha. I wholeheartedly agree. Listen, if they didn't have ingredients that were prohibitive to me, I would 100% be eating the dinosaur nuggies. Sadly, I can no longer eat the dinosaur nuggies, but if I could, I would be doing it because they are the bestest. They make such a good Japanese curry. Dinosaur nuggies, Japanese curry sauce. Perfect. Perfection. Made with genuine dinosaur meat, says Samantha. Yeah, that's why I can't eat them. I'm a vegetarian. Heck. But yes. Okay. Is that enough red books, do I think? I'm gonna go with sure for now. We'll see how we feel later. But anyways, yeah, dinosaur nuggies are delightful. And I miss them. I don't know. I guess I could attempt to make my own dinosaur nuggies, but that feels like a lot of work. That feels like a lot of work, and I feel like a lot of tired. So, no, thank you. I'm gonna not do that. I'm going to struggle to catch my breath. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm going to do some purple books. Nice deep violet. Oh, how delightful. I wonder what this book is about. Maybe it's a recipe book on how to cook with aubergines. It's got recipes for, like, stuffed aubergines, aubergine curry, stir-fried aubergines. Anything you could ever want to do with an aubergine. They have instructions inside that book, perhaps. I don't know. That would be neat. As an aubergine enjoyer. Ratatouille! Ah, shoot! One of the quintessential aubergine recipes right there. I love ratatouille. It is, when a certain stage of summer rolls around, I'm just like, oh man, I just want to be eating ratatouille for dinner. It's so good. It's so good, and it's, like, really easy. It's just take some of these veggies and cook them with some garlic, some fresh basil. Serve it with rice. So good. And it has no ingredients that I'm allergic to. I love that for me. Okay, I'm gonna have this purple book going. I'm concerned for the spine of this book, but so it goes. There we go. Yay! We got bookies! Okay, awesome. I hope these books stand out against the background enough. I really do. Now I am concerned, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. That should be fine. I'm gonna do some books in this, like, beautiful teal color, because it's just so nice. And then I'll probably do some books in, like, the blue as well. But first, teal, and I think teal stands out really nicely as well. I might end up doing a second pass of like the sort of dark background. Sammy Ann, hello! Oh gee, it's Sammy, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you got the teeth figured out. The teeth was did on Monday, I think. It was did on Monday. Also, hello, how are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are well. But yeah, the teeth was did on Monday, which is why I did not stream on Monday. Because I felt like poo-poo garbage. But I'm feeling a lot better now. It was really weird. I was worried that like the filling was like not very good because it felt like my tooth was too big for my mouth. But that seems to have simmered down as well, which is, oh, so grateful because that sucked. But I'm definitely still not 100%. It's still recovering. I'm still taking ibuprofens as needed, yada yada yada. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's wonderful to see you. And hello. Okay. Whew. Right. I think this big boy here shall also be teal. I don't know if there is enough ornament in these bookshelves. I don't know if they're going to end up looking a little bit plain. Hopefully once we've added all of like the detail and stuff to the books, it'll look, and the shelves themselves, it'll look a little bit less like nothing. I'm painting alongside and doing the admin stuff of my job, says Sammy, and hell yeah. I hope that both of those things go well. I hope you don't accidentally end up applying a thick brush stroke of oil paint to a spreadsheet. But I hope that whatever you're up to goes well. And thank you for allowing me to art along with you today, which is such a privilege and a pleasure. Okay. I'm going to wet this blue, which is this like this iron blue. It's very deep, it's very pretty. And I think it's a very good book color, if I do say so myself. So in we go with our lovely bookish blue. Okay. Anyways, I have to say I am especially excited by the little terrarium here. I hope that'll turn out really cute. I just thought it would be nice to have like a little bit of ornament on the bookshelves as opposed to it being nothing but books. I mean, obviously the owl is an ornament. The owl just lives here. Love that I'm seeing more books. These are gorgeous colors, says Sammy. And oh, thank you. That may have happened once upon a time. Oh no. I definitely have never, in a previous iteration of my working life, which I am no longer working at, almost accidentally copy pasted a paragraph of creative writing into an email. I didn't send it, but I did copy paste it. I was a temp at the time, and I was working a reception desk whilst I was looking for more relevant professional work. And there was just straight ahead nothing. It was in an educational setting, and it was out of term, so there was effectively nothing to do like 98% of the time. So I would just sit and write like short story pitches and work on writing stuff in like email drafts because there was legit nothing else to do. And I wasn't allowed to knit because it didn't look professional. I'm like, okay, well, if there were any tasks for me to do, I'm not good at just sitting and staring into space. I'm sorry. That was not a good job. It was not a good job, but it was fine. It was a weird place. But there were like 2 or 3 people there that I liked, and that made it tolerable. I wonder how that one guy who ran the workshop is getting on. He was really nice. Anyways. One of those dudes who, at some point in his youth, I feel like, was like, you know what, I really suit sideburns. Sideburns are a good look for me. Sideburns are on trend right now. I'm gonna wear sideburns. And then just never stopped and just made it work for him. Hello, Plaps? Hello, Plaps? Mira, thank you very much for the kiwi, Plaps. How absolutely delightful. Thank you so much. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely Thursday. That's the day of the week it is. I'm tired and I don't know anymore. But thank you. And I hope you are well. Sammy Han says, I love that. Why not fill your downtime with something you want to learn or enjoy, as long as the work gets done and the decorum is on point? Exactly. My thoughts exactly. There was a gentleman who, whenever I answered the phone at my desk, I would be like, you know, this is the blah 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 department, Sammy speaking. And he'd always be like, ah, yes, Amy, hello. And then go on and chat. And I never corrected him because I was like, oh, you know, it's like a one-time mistake. I'll figure it out. And he never did. But he also, like, I saw him in person at the desk and he'd be like, ah, hello, Sammy. So I think he thought that, like, myself and someone else named Amy were 2 separate people who, like, worked in the same department. And considering that I was living in the UK by this point, the fact that he just didn't question that in a department of about 5 people, there were 2 Canadians with very similar voices? I mean, I guess it's possible? But it just felt like it happened once, and then I was like, okay, well, it happened once, so I can't correct him now. I'm just gonna have to be Amy on the phone when this one man calls. Oh boy. Sammy has a so fun story. Sam is my nickname. My real name is not even remotely related to Sam. Is it Amy? Don't tell me. That is delightful, though. Do I have a nickname? I'm not sure I do. I'm okay with that. My moderator / spouse calls me babe. I like that. And my pirate name is Demon Scarlet, because despite how it displays on camera, this is a, like, a much more, like, straight ahead red color. I feel like it looks quite orange on camera, but it's actually, like, a classic red. And the name of the color is Demon Scarlet, and I was like, that's my pirate name, so I'm making a pirate shirt with it. Tee-hee, tee-hee. Hold on, let me see if actually just showing you, like, a photo of the fabric would work better. Hold up. He probably just thought you and your identical twin Amy both worked there, said Samantha. Oh my god, like, what if? That's hilarious. Sammy is at high school because I alternated morning with ponytail and hair down. People thought I was my own twin because half the people heard me being addressed as Sam and the other about my actual name. That's incredible, and I love that for you. That's so funny. That is so funny. Okay, hold on. Okay, weirdly, it looks another different, not quite accurate color on the website. But this is about as close as it's gonna get. This is Demon Scarlet, and it's also my pirate name. And it's just a really pretty fabric. It's a nice linen. It's probably a little bit thicker than it needs to be for a shirt like this, but I think it'll be fine. But yeah, that's the fabric that I'm using right now. Is that my nickname? No, no one calls me that. I just thought it sounded like a pirate name, so I had to make a pirate shirt out of it. Anyways, Sammy answers, to this day the Sam Camp calls me Sam, hence the business name. Wonderful. I love it. I love it so much. Sammy says, sweet, this could be fabulous. Thank you. I hope so. I hope that... So I have a fairly, like, strawberry-esque complexion. Like, my face is quite pink, and I hope that wearing a red shirt doesn't make me look more pink. I'm honestly not sure the color theory of that, but I guess we'll find out. Are we gonna get a YouTube or socials reveal? Yeah, that's the idea. I'm trying to weaponize my, I'm trying to, like, hack my brain into actually making this shirt in a relatively short space of time instead of taking an entire year to do it. And so my method and my strategy has been to force myself to work on it for a set amount of time every day for, like, most days out of the week. I'm taking weekends off so I can spend time with my partner. But I sit down and work on it for the duration of one episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, because I really wanted to rewatch Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and I figured that if I set aside my Deep Space Nine time as also my sewing time, I would get at least, like, 45 minutes worth of solid sewing time every, sort of, like, 4 or 5 days a week, as opposed to doing, like, 6 hours of stitching one day and then not doing any more for, like, a month. This is hopefully somewhat more of a solid speed run for me of hand sewing, and I might get it done in, like, a few weeks instead of, like, half a year. That is the idea. However, as pointed out by Samantha, the irony is not lost on me about the fact that I'm watching Star Trek while working on this project, and she says, wearing a red shirt is dangerous if you're ever on an away mission. I know. And I'm scared. Anyways, Sammy Ann says, weaponize, yas, brain, you've got this. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sammy Ann says, this unless you are top build. Yes, absolutely. I don't think I'm important enough to be... I don't think I'm even important enough to be the Cisco of my own, like, content. But, a girl can dream. Never leave the house, says Stiles. Perfect. Anywho. But yeah, also, the shirt is, like, is a recreation of an 18th century style, like, men's shirt. But in a fun color. So... it literally has nothing to do with Star Trek, apart from the fact that I just really wanted to watch the show. And guess what, everyone? The show's great. It's so fun. It's so silly. They literally just cloned a guy. It's like, what more could you possibly want? Sammy Hensis stares in disbelief. Please, Commander is at least your rank on this ship. Thank you. I genuinely don't know. Like, if it was the Starfleet future, what the heck would I be doing with my life? The answer is a resounding, I have no idea. Would I be allowed to just, like, be a painter? Could I just paint stuff? I don't know if Starfleet has jobs for people who just want to do, like, watercolors and stuff, but could I just do watercolors and go look at space? That'd be neat. Is there a market for homemade, like, jams and gluten-free baked goods? Because I could do that, too. I mean, Ben's dad ran his restaurant. That's true. That's true. That was a very popular restaurant, and I have to go out on a limb and assume that he doesn't just have, like, a secret replicator in the back and he's not actually cooking any of his food, because he was very proud of his, like, you know, his meals and stuff. Lobster... mac and cheese. I can't remember the foods that he cooks, but oh, I think he makes a really nice remoulade. I seem to remember that from an episode. Deliciousness. I'm gonna do something weird and actually paint out as far as, like, the edges of the paper, which I rarely do. I don't know if this is a mistake. I'm gonna get my fingies in it, but I don't really have much of a margin on the edges, so I might as well just ignore it. Anyways, Samantha says my shipping rank is any possible sapphic ship available. Cool, cool, cool. How do you feel about how do you feel about I'm trying to think of who are some good characters to ship. Um I mean, the obvious one for the Deep Space Nine is Jadzia and Kira. I think they should be allowed to cuddle, if they want to. Anyways, um, also occasionally silly boys who are obviously into each other. Oh, yeah, I feel that. Um, Anywho. I do confess that I do ship stuff when I watch TV sometimes, because sometimes they make it really hard not to. Okay, they really do. Anyways, sometimes it's very obvious that the writers are like, yeah, we know these two should be dating. Um, Samantha suggests Picard and Q from TNG, classic. Oh, I just saw earlier today. I was reminded of the episode where it's like it's like a wonderful life for Picard, where he is allowed to find out what would happen if he did something different from something that happened to him in his like student days. Um and he's allowed to go back and change that thanks to Q magic, and he does. And it turns out that if he hadn't done that stupid thing when he was a student, he wouldn't get to be the captain he is today. He just has a crappy different job. Oh no, he looks worse in teal than he does in red. Oh well. Anyways, um Sammy Ann says, do you think Q would have worn down his defenses eventually? I always felt it was a pursue the oblivious in that relationship. It kind of was, I think. Sammy Ann says, I haven't seen Picard seasons 2 and 3 yet. No, me neither. I saw season 1, and then, I don't know, I got busy, and then I watched a physicist on YouTube do like a 4-hour long review of the Picard program, and I was like, I don't know. I could just not watch it. Because it didn't sound very. I feel the impression that I get is that seasons 2 and 3 were filmed at the same time because they were kind of hamstrung by possibly a combination of COVID and or strikes. I'm not sure, but it meant that the storytelling was very sort of disconnected between the two of them, and anyways, I could just rewatch things that I like. Anyways, Tal says, get stabbed in the heart or live to regret it. Exactly. Apparently so. Samantha says, I always saw it as Picard being definitely into it, but resisting because as hot as he found Q, the Federation in him couldn't abide Q's blasé attitude. You know what? I enjoy that. That's delightful. That is genuinely delightful. Excellent read. Okay. I hope this color. I like this color of bookshelf. I think it's a nice Richard Brown. It is good. And going right out to the edges of the paper feels super wrong. Like, ew, what am I doing? No. This isn't how you paint. Anyways, but I didn't really give myself a lot of space, but I wanted to capture the edges of the bookshelf here, so I got to do it. Anyways. But yes, I do have an appreciation for a little bit of romance in my science fiction. Also, just a little bit of like people getting to be like genuinely friends with each other. That's one of the things that's weird about going back to like the early seasons of a show with like an ensemble cast where they're all friends, but they're not friends yet in the first few episodes. And it's like, why is everyone being so mean to Quark? He's your friend, you know. Also, I just like Quark because I don't know. He's just a little guy, but he's actually kind of great. Anyways. Okay. Good. Good. Now then, for anyone who's not familiar with Star Trek, I'm sorry. Well, shoot, gotta see the next season, says Sammy, and go for it. Going into focus mode. Have a lovely focus mode. Have a lovely lurk. Thank you. Anyways, Samantha says, yeah, but Quark is a capitalist and they live in the luxury gay space communist future. This is true. This is very true. I do enjoy that ideological divide. I do also enjoy sort of the like development of his character over the course of the series. Like we see that he espouses all of this stuff, but sometimes it's not, honestly not sure really how much he believes in it. Anyways. Also, he's just a little guy. I love little guys. He's fun. Anywho. Remember when Quark became the high school principal? Worst principal ever. That was a terrible career move. He should have stayed in the hospitality industry. He was actually pretty successful at that. I hear he even eventually franchised. Anyways. We're almost on the actual bookshelves part of the bookshelf. Yay! There's almost no white stuff remaining of the shelves. Yay! I mean, I have piles of tiny details to add in once we've colored all of the bits in, but still, we're making some progress. I feel good about that. Incidentally, I did check the calendar, and Halloween is a stream day, so I will be streaming, but unfortunately, I will not be on camera, so I don't know how you're going to get to see what I'm wearing, because I also have a really stupid... I, honestly, until I think last night, had no idea what I was wearing for Halloween. I was like, I gotta do some kind of costume, but what? And then I had just the stupidest realization, and now I know what I'm doing for my Halloween costume, and it's so stupid, and I'm so excited. So I guess I'm gonna have to take a selfie so that y'all can see what I'm wearing for Halloween. It is a Friday, so it will be a Skong stream. And then after stream, I am I am baking rather, a pan of Halloween marmalade brownies. What's Halloween-y about them? I don't know. I feel like, well, I guess they're, like the cocoa is very dark, it's almost black, and marmalade is orange, and those are like the Halloween-y colors. And also, they're delicious. Vampirate, says Samantha. Do you know that I was a vampirate for Halloween a few years ago? I was legit a vampirate. It was very fun. It was also, I think it was around COVID time, so it was very slapped together based on what I already had in my wardrobe, which is exactly what I'm doing again this year. Except, it's something different. I'm not going to tell you what, I haven't got all of the elements together yet, so I don't want to say what it is, just in case, like, I fluff it up and it ends up not working very well. Because there's a very real possibility that I will fluff it up and it won't work very well. And I don't want to get your hopes up and have it turn out that I do a terrible job. You should be a vampire with Sludge as a were-Klingon. I do not think I could get him to wear, like, a prosthetic forehead. I think he would draw the line at that. I guess I could try and use makeup to, like, contour forehead ridges on. I did briefly consider, because I do have a couple of, like, Bajoran-style earrings, I did briefly consider doing, like, late 19th century, I don't know, like, whiskey Major Kira, using clothes I already own and just putting on that earring and giving myself sort of a late 19th century updo in my hair and wearing like some old-timey clothes that are in an appropriate shade of Bajoran red, which I own. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna do this other stupid thing instead. And it's gonna be real stupid, and I'm very excited if I can get it to work. Because it's gonna be really stupid. Just a werewolf with a bat. Pronoun enforcement werewolf, yes! I love it. Her pronouns are they, them. Anyways, they're trying their best. They got the spirit. Oh, excuse me. Heck. Okay, I'm gonna have to, like, make a bespoke brown, I think. If I may, for just a moment here. For a little bit of the dirt and the earth in my little terrarium. Just some lovely little layers of dirt. Am I procrastinating on doing the owl bit of this? Yeah, of course I am. Are you kidding? I'm super scared that I'm going to do a terrible job of the owl, because it's really important that the owl looks cute to me. And I'm terrified that I'm not going to do it justice. I don't want to do that to you, little Ruru. You are adorbs. You deserve to be treated like the precious little creature that you are. Okay, second bespoke brown color for my terrarium dirt. Let's see how I get on. Man, it really is. It's just like beading on the surface of the paper. It's like resisting it. Like, look at that. It's just like massively resisting, like, the water. It's weird. Justice for owls. This little owl deserves the very best. That's the thing. I don't want to. And it's a very tiny piece. I mean, considering there's my fingy tip. There's our little moor pork. It's not a big boy. Which, again, what a name for a creature. What a strange name for a creature. Also known as Ruru. Which, I don't know, feels like it makes more sense as an owl name. Is there an Ankh to go with that moor pork? No. It's just a moor pork. Anyways, I can... Hold on. Let me... Okay, here's a picture of one, in case you are curious. Look at them! They're so cute! They're so stinking precious! I love their little faces. I think they're very, very cute. So I'm going to try and make this owl be as cute as that. I don't know. You can't see their little owl claws because of the way that they're sitting, like a little orb, like a little owl flavored orb. But anywho. But also, oh no, they've got somewhat complicated plumage, so this is gonna be hard. I feel like. But yeah. I'm looking up another reference picture on my bird. On my phone. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Oh my god. I was about to type in the word bird, and my brain said it instead of phone. I'm so embarrassed right now. I just want the ground to open up and swallow me whole. Don't look at me, don't perceive me. Oh no, ignore me. Ignore me, chat. Ah! No! Oh, heck. Okay, anyways. Oh no. So they really do have like in every example they have such like very spotty plumage, but their eyes are very intense. Very intense. So I'm gonna try and capture that energy as well. Thank you so much, TTS Nicole. I wholeheartedly agree with the oh no. Hello, and thank you, Talis, for the TTS Nicole. Very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. I think what I might do is just paint it in sort of a base of like a very faint kind of grayish brown as like the base, and then I will put the other sort of like feathery dot colors on top of that, bypassing the eyes, of course, and the teacup, because they are indeed drinking a nice cup of tea. Nothing but the very best cup of tea for little Ruru here. I hope that they turn out cute. I'm really scared that they're not going to turn out cute. But hopefully they'll be cute. I don't know, I feel like they look cute-ish right now. Samantha says, oh, Sammy, speaking of TTS Nicole, did you know that yesterday was her day? What does that mean? What do you mean? No, what do you mean? What do you mean yesterday was her day? Was it her birthday? Was it like Wombat Day or something? She is a wombat, by the way, in case anyone's curious. And she is a very good friend of the stream. And we love her very much. I'm going to give this a second coating, I think. I don't know if this might be a mistake, but I'm going to try just a very decisive glaze. Because I feel like in places, some of the darker books don't stand out enough against the background of the bookshelves. So if I can just give it a little more intensity, that might help. We shall see. It was Wombat Day. Oh man. Oh man, well I hope she had a good day. I mean, she got the day off because I wasn't streaming. So hopefully she was having a nice time doing the wombat-y type stuff that she likes doing when she's not at work. Like eating yummy snacks, hiding from predators, doing impressively cuboid poops. You know, all the things that wombats love to do. I'm not sure if wombats love to do that last one, or that's just the way that their butts work. I've never asked, because that feels like a very personal question, honestly. And I don't think it's my place to ask anything that invasive of, you know, a member of my content production team. if such is what I can call her, or if I can say in all seriousness that I have a content production team, which I don't think I can. It's just me in an extremely jank streaming setup, let's be real. Anyways. But yes, that's really nice. I hope she had a good day. I hope all the wombats had a good wombat day. I hope they had some yummy snacks. I don't actually know entirely what their diet consists of. I imagine that it's some measure of plants, maybe some bugs. I don't know. But I hope they enjoyed it. Okay. I think this was a good shout. I think this is looking good. It's looking a little bit shiny to you, but yeah, I feel like it's creating a bit more of a contrast, which is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Good. I am using up. You can see which colors get the most use here. Like this one, and this one, and this one are definitely like the most painted with colors out of this set. What will I do when I run out of them and I have just a ton left of everything else? I don't know. Like this yellow, I don't use it nearly as much of, and this purple as well. Like for sure. So I don't know how that'll go down, but never mind. If I find myself in a situation at some point where I have like a palette set and I've run out of several of the key colors that I definitely use the most, I will do a colors I don't paint with enough challenge and just force myself to do like a limited palette challenge with like the colors that I don't use very often out of those. I think that could be quite interesting and potentially also fun. I hope it would be fun. I would certainly find it challenging to do, probably. Because again, those are the colors that I don't use, so trying to find uses for them and make them look nice would be interesting. Anywho. Okay. Yay! Good, okay. Like 2/3 of the way done now, I think. Oh, this brush was too wet. Shoot. Okay. What I don't want is to have too much water on my brush, have my paints be too watery, and then have them just lift the paint that's already there. I would rather they didn't do that. That would be super rad. Anyways. Doodly doot. Okay. Alright, 3/4 of the way done. Yay! Okay. There we go. Anyways. I hope y'all have had good weeks so far. I really enjoyed painting that little gnome husband's piece. I was worried about painting like the bonfire specifically, because you know anything with like a lighting effect like that is always I find it not the easiest thing to do. I find it a very fun thing to do, but I find it not the easiest thing to do. But I was really pleased with the way that it turned out. Kept it fairly simple, and I think that was probably for the best. Ernesto, hello! Happy Thursday to you too. I hope you're having a lovely day. It's wonderful to see you. Hello, hello. Hope you are well. Oh, anywho, I'm gonna take a sip of my beverage, which I'm running out of beverages. Oh no. Oh no. I might have to grab something out of the fridge on the next break, just to keep myself hydrated. So I'm definitely feeling like my throat feels a little bit dry, my mouth feels a little bit dry. I feel like I'm not getting enough water in at the moment. I do find it harder to drink like the recommended amount of fluids when it's cold out versus when it's hot out, mostly because I don't really crave like a cold glass of water when I'm already cold. Like, my house is cold right now. The studio is chilly. Do I want to be chugging a thing of, like, cold water? No, but drinking tepid water is disgusting. Drinking warm water is disgusting. And making a cup of tea involves like having to boil the kettle and, you know, like scoop out the tea and put it into a tea strainer and then steep it for an amount of minutes and all this jazz that you don't have when you're just having a glass of water, where you can just pour it out of the tap, or take, in my case, probably take a bottle of water out of the fridge. Okay, the see-through glass bit of the terrarium is the same color as the backdrop of the bookshelves, but it's a lighter version of it because it's passing through the glass. Is that how it works in real life? Not particularly, but it's how it works here, because it's just a bit of visual shorthand for there is glass here. Okay? This is how we do. Alright, so that's done. I think I'm going to need to switch to my smaller brush now. I think it's time to retire the medium small brush, the medium brush, and go to the extremely tittle brush, because we're getting into the territory of things that are significantly more detailed. Oh no. Am I scared? Yep. 100%. Very scared. But I'm surely fine. Okay. Anyways, I have a minute to do... I'm going to do just like a light, like a pale blue colored teacup here. Because why? Because I think it's a pretty color for a cup of tea. That's why. It also will stand out nice against the brown owl. What else? I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of this sort of ochre yellow. I'm gonna mix it with just a tiny amount of that brown. I'm gonna water it down a significant amount. And I'm gonna use that for the little corky bit sitting at the top of the terrarium jar. If I can. There's way too much paint on here. Oh no! I've got 20 seconds in which to do it. Ah! Because it wants to be nice and transparent. Okay. Alright, it looks a little bit messy now, but it'll be fine once the line weight's in. We will come back and start working on the other details after the break. I shall be back very, very shortly. You ain't gonna miss anything, because we'll be on the BRB screen. But I'll be back in a minute. I'm sorry if you have to see ads. I can't make them not happen. But yeah, I'll be back very shortly. Have a nice BRB, everybody. BRB. Break is over, so hello again. Hello, hello. Welcome back! Yay! It's lovely to be back. It's wonderful to see you all again. Hooray. Okay. I'm gonna pick up some of this yellow, which is like, I think the only color that I haven't used at all yet. But I'm going to need to make some green for my mossy little terrarium. That's too yellow now. Can you be green? No, now that's just blue. Ah, damn it. Am I going to end up in that situation where I'm trying to mix yellow and blue together over and over and over again to make green, and I just keep making various iterations of yellow or blue? It really seems like it. Oh, man. No. These yellows and blues don't seem to want to mix together to make it. This is just turning it gray. This is just turning it gray. Is my yellow just not yellow enough? I don't know. Oh, geez, I just accidentally put blue in my yellow pan. I'm gonna have to try and pick that back up. Well, that hasn't worked, because that has legit just turned it. That's just turning gray. Oh, no. Let's just add a bunch of teal. Well, now it's just teal that's a little bit gray. Why can I not make green? Okay, maybe if I use this ochre yellow instead, maybe it's a little bit more amenable to the greenening. No, that's still gray. Am I gonna have to borrow a green from a different palette just for this one thing? I feel like I maybe do. Because, well, now it's brown. Oh, heck. Oh, heck. No. If I add a little bit more teal back into that. Are you green yet? Are you green yet? No. No, you ain't. Okay, hold up. Hold on, everybody. I need to cheat slightly. And I'm gonna pick one of these pans. I think it's this one. And I'm just gonna. This is a very potent green pigment, so we're just gonna pick up a tiny little bit of it, and we're gonna add it to this until it looks like an acceptable terrarium green. Okay. Okay, I think I can combine this into something workable. Because I do want the green to be a little bit mossy, so this is kind of an okay sort of for the little mossy patches there. I think this color is all right. But for the little shoot, I think it wants to be a bit more verdant, like properly verdant. Oh yeah, this is a nice mossy color actually now. That's delightful. Again, it is the paint water is kind of pilling a little bit, which is annoying, but my moderator / spouse is home, so we'll be back in just a second. Sunshine. Oh, did it do it again? Yeah. Oh, for flip's sake. Hi, baby. Oh, my cheek hurts. Yeah, it's been a little bit long. As long as I don't look stupid. Thanks. How's your nose? Cold? Yeah. Love you. Welcome home. That's your post, by the way. Yeah. Okay, cool. Hi, everybody. Oh, Tal's in the chat says hello, sweetie.
Hello, chat.
He says hello to chat. It's very cold out there, so I had to give him a big hug. But hopefully that will help. And also, we're going to have a warm and cozy dinner tonight. Oh, he's putting the heating on for a bit. Oh my goodness. Honestly, wholeheartedly agree. It is cold as balls in here. And I've been just about coping, but like, damn. A little bit of heating would most certainly not go amiss. I don't like switching the heat on because it costs money. And I am a massive cheapskate. Because I'm also poor. Which I feel like is a pretty good reason to be a cheapskate, frankly. But sometimes you also legit need to warm your body and your home. Oh, you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to light a scented candle. There we go. Oh, is the terrarium cute? It looks very unfinished because obviously I haven't done any line weight or anything, but is the terrarium cute yet? I hope so. I think it's cute. Anyways, I am looking forward to my kids' menu dinner. It's so mature of me. But also it's, yeah. What's up, babe? I'm okay, actually. Thank you. Anywho's, I'm going to try and put these paints back in the right order, and it's hard because I can't tell which color is which. Ah, shoot. Which one are you? You are... Where's red? Okay, red was upside down. Okay, red. Orange. Yellow. Green. Which the heck one of these is blue? Blue. Violet. Brown. Black. And mom. Cool. Okay. I put my paints back in their absolutely not created for this purpose little box. Oh, well, never mind. You know what? It works. So it's all good. Okay. Now I need to pick up this weird light yellow color in relative abundance because I'm going to paint the owl, or I'm going to attempt to paint the owl's eyes. Fun! I hate to say it, but I don't think we're going to finish this today. I might have to finish it off the stream. And then next week for both of the art streams, I want to do some kind of big, silly, spooky project kind of situation. Ooh. Now this owl's eyes are creepy. Oh no. Oh well, I think it will improve as we once I add the like, you know, dark part in the middle of it. Could you focus, please? Could you focus? It's so out of focus now. Focus. There we go. Okay. It was very out of focus there for a moment. Do not want that. That sucks. Okay. But obviously I'm not done yet, but I don't think we're going to get this done today because there's a lot of line work to do. Oh no, but I might just finish it tomorrow or on the weekend. Because yeah, anywho, what was I doing? Oh yeah, reference picture of our, oh look at them, they're so stinky cute. I love them. But there are different, like, there's a lot of, I feel like there's more brown sort of on the top of the head and the, like, darker brown on the top of the head and the wings than, like, the tummy. And there's more doots of, like, sort of, like, a light grayish sort of color, and then also kind of a lighter, sort of blonder brown. So I'm not sure what I should start with. Maybe I should start adding some little blonde doots into the, into, like, the sort of tummy region, perhaps. I'm gonna water this right down, because it should still be it should be visible, but pale. And it might not be as, sophisticated as it would be in real life, but I'm gonna do sort of wing shape over here as well. This is a funky little, this owl is a funky little creature, is what I shall say about this owl. I love them quite a bit, in fact. What the heck? Oh, this is so subtle. It's like, is it even visible? I don't know. But I'm just dropping in loads of little doots. And hopefully it'll be very cute when it's done. Okay, so I've got some feathery doots. There are a couple of little feathery doots on the wings as well. But not quite so many. And then also sort of coming up into the, just beneath the cheeks here. Kind of want to do the bits on the head closer to last, in part because I didn't want to get too close to the, bits around, like the yellow bits around the edges of the eyes, until we were, like, very sure that they were dry. Because I don't really want to disrupt them before they are. Okay. What color is that beak? That beak is kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a grayish. It's kind of a grayish. So how shall I, if I take this and kind of water it right down. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect. This is a teeny tiny little, this is the tiniest little Ruru that ever existed. And we love them. This is, oh, that's too dark. That's way too dark. Hold up, wait. Nope. Oop. Okay. Alright, that's the perfect color. Yay! I love when it's just that easy. Just give it a little blot. Now you're good. Alright, wizard. Okay. I guess it's time to make owl brown. If I have to. Oh no. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about making the owl brown, but that is the color that the owl wants to be, so I got to paint it in. Do-do-do. I'm doing just a blend of the two brown paints that I have for most of it. There's a little bit of variation just around the beak, where it's actually, I think, a little bit of a grayer brown color. But for the most part, I think this is probably the most appropriate. I hope. Okay. Anyways, I don't know a lot. I'm afraid I don't know a lot of owl facts. I do know that this owl does, it does sometimes eat other smaller birds. So that's the thing that this owl does, is that it does eat other smaller birds. That's an owl fact. Okay, I'm trying to fill in like quite a bit of this wing, but leaving some little spotty gaps as well. Hopefully that looks appropriate. I'm trying not to let my breath.
Where should I put this?
Oh shoot! 1 second, chat. I left my sewing project on the chair. I'll take it. Please don't sit on the pins, sweetie. I will put that on top of my other laptop. Okay. I had hastily left my other sewing project on my moderator/spouse's desk chair, so I have removed it to a secure location. Oh no. Oh heck. Silly me. That's fine. All right. We have some hello. Rhodiola, welcome in. Lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for the follow to Rhodiola Rosea. Welcome, welcome. Hope you are having a just the loveliest of lovely days. Welcome, welcome. I am currently trying to paint a very small owl hanging out on a bookshelf. Okay, I feel like the brown plumage needs to be a little bit more spotty in this area. Like there's more surrounding area that is like lighter in color. There's a lot of dudes. Like if you look at, get a load of that. Anyways, Rhodiola says, Onigiri, hello! I see you found the jam donut emote. Nice. Very nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We like books and bookshelves in this art content universe. Maybe too much, some might say, but I wouldn't. It is kind of my brand for some reason. Probably just because I keep doing it and people expect me to do it now. But we have fun here, I hope. Okay. Some more little brown doots for the top of head. Like so. Oh no, it's cute! Oh no, it's cute! Oh heck. Oh beans. I mean, I say oh no, but obviously I am aiming for cute, and I'm glad that it's cute. At least I think it's turning out cute. I hope y'all think it's turning out cute. Okay. Oh, no, that was way too much paint. Heck. Shall I do a little dab it? Okay. And we dab it. Okay. Alright, so sorry if get quiet. I am trying very hard to get as fine of a line for these little sort of like the fluffy bits around the eyes. I want to make sure look like the fluffy bits around the eyes, you know what I mean? Like when owls have that sort of like bit of very specific plumage right around their eyes, and it's very, very cute. Okay. Okay, I think that's more or less that. And if I kind of just bring a couple more doots up to about here, and now I need to make a gray again, but it needs to be a slightly darker gray this time. Ooh! Rhodiola says, I was reading Onions in the Stew this morning from a 1955 Reader's Digest condensed book I found in my Century home. Now I want to make a bookmark. That's awesome! That is amazing. I remember reading. I used to work in a library. I remember the Reader's Digests. We had so many of them. Alright, is this a gray enough gray? I guess let's find out. Because the
attention
area...
Twitch user Sammy Kelsch.
Shoppers.
Oh my goodness, Senpai, hello! Welcome in, raiders. Hello, hello, hello. How was your raid? Welcome into Senpai and who's it? Red Panda Party. Hello, welcome. Hello, hello, Piscicatti. Hello, hello. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for the raid. Lovely to see all of the cozy spoopies. Let me get a shout out for you in the chat as well. What were you up to today? I would love to hear all about it. Hello, hello. Yay, the raid worked! And if you're not following them, you can go do that right there. And I wholeheartedly recommend it. Hi, we are attempting to paint the plumage onto an owl right now. And we're doing a bookshelf bookmark, as you do, because, I mean, what better to put into your book than more books, right? Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyways, for anyone who's new here, hello. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelsch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and most Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays, and every once in a while on Thursday rather, if I'm feeling extra crispy. Today we are doing a bookmark, as you do, and yeah, that's me. I do mostly watercolors and traditional art. What are you up to? Worked on these two fighting hares today. Oh my goodness, these emotes, they are so cute. They're doing a little fighty fight. That is a heckin' adorable, my friend. I love them. That is awesome. I love it, I love it, I love it. If you can see chat, please appreciate the two little hares doing a punch at each other. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is so good. I love them. Amazing. Truly, truly amazing. Rhodiola says bookception. Hell yeah. For anyone who's new here, I will if I may self-indulge just a moment and introduce what my artwork looks like when it's done. This is a painting that I worked on earlier this week on stream, and I finished it off stream, and it looks like this. It is also a bookmark. It is my two gnome husbands having just a nice little quiet moment with a cozy little campfire in the Enchanted Forest, as you do. So that's that. Anywho, but yes, those are absolutely fantastic emotes. I love it. Let me get another shout out for you in the chat. And hello to everyone who came in on the raid. Fighting Hares IRL are some sight to see. I can't say I've ever seen it, so I'll have to take your word. That's amazing. But yes. They go wild. I believe it. I mean, they are wild animals, so, you know, it standeth to reason that they would. Anywho. My chat's disappeared. There we go. Okay. I love the two little guys. Ah, thank you. Husbands, boyfriends, and books. The drawing subjects of Twitch user Sammy Kelch. This is true, but I am trying to draw more public transit stations as well. I did one of Maida Vale Station. I've done one of Park Royal Station now, and I'm hoping on my next visit to London that I might get down to Collier's Wood and get some good reference photos of Collier's Wood so I can paint Collier's Wood Station because I think it's a really cute station. Yeah. Anyways, actually, I can show y'all Park Royal Station. Oh no, we've activated another one of my special interests. But yes, parts of my brand. Books and bookshelves for some reason. I mean, I do have a literature degree, so maybe that's why. They just keep coming back. Yeah, here's Park Royal Station. It's in the west of London. And when you draw these public transit stations, what people do you tend to put in them? Just a couple of little guys. Just a couple of little guys. They've just arrived, and this guy is bringing his little sweetie to visit to meet his parents for the first time, and they're not at all feeling a little bit nervous about it. But cool little guys. Oh look, what's that in the foreground of the transit station? Could it be boyfriends? Yeah, possibly husbands. I'm not sure. They might be married. But yeah. Cool little guys, says Rodiola. Thank you. I love drawing, like, doing landscapes or cityscapes or whatever, just putting, like, teeny tiny little people into the scene. But the more times I do it, the smaller and smaller the people seem to get. And it gets harder and harder for me to actually get, like, the tiny details in there with my brush. So maybe I need to, like, dial it back a little bit, and the next time make the little guys a little bit bigger so I can actually get, like, an appropriate amount of detail in there. I don't know. But I feel like that might be that might be wise at this point. I'm a little worried that I've overdone it on the littleness of the little guys. Okay, I'm looking up my little face here for Ruru. Because I need to get some little... Oh shoot, my brush is still too wet. I can't get a really nice fine line if my brush is too wet. But I also need this plumage to be a little bit darker. There's a little bit of a slightly darker gray plumage just around the beak. So maybe I just need to add more paint to this little blobbit so that I can get a nice fine line that is nonetheless a little bit more colored in, I suppose. So let us try. Little birdie, hello! Stopping in while on my lunch break. Hello, hello, hello. I'm probably not going to be going on too much longer. Because I will soon need to go cook my dinner. But it is lovely to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. There we go. That's more like it. I think some of the like brown plumage honestly needs to be a little bit more colored in as well. I feel like it's just the coloration on this little guy is a little too light. So I might go over some of these again and see if I can just get a little slightly more depth to it. I think erring on the side of trying to not color it in too much, I might end up really not coloring it in too much. Therefore, I need to actually go back in and add more color. So here I am doing that. Because it is a reasonably rich brown, I would say. Okay. So if I just give some of an additional pass here on the wings where there's quite a lot of brown. And then on the tummy where there's slightly less brown, but there's still a reasonable amount of brown. But it's more like little feathery doots. Very, This bird is very much made up of little feathery doots. So, hopefully I can enact that. I am slightly damaged today, says little birdie. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that you are able to heal soon. I wish you a speedy recovery, whatever is going on. I hope it's nothing too serious. But regardless, I send well wishes in your direction. Okay. This owl is looking crazy, but I think it will look normal once it has, like, line weight. And also, once I've actually put color inside its eyes, which I think I will attempt to do now, I'm very scared. This paint is nice and thick. So hopefully I can just get an appropriate list. Oh my god, this is terrifying. This is terrifying. This is such a tiny area. Such a tiny area. Alright, that's one. Okay. The owls have eyes. It looks slightly less crazy now, I think. Oh, goodness gracious. I fell on my way to my car because I missed a step, and I'm okay but feeling bruised, and I dropped my pastry. Oh, no. I am so sorry. Not the pastry, says Rhodiola. I wholeheartedly agree. Oh, beans. I'm so sorry, but I hope that your bruises recover soon, and I hope that getting to see some decorative gourds helps. I have decorative gourds on stream today because I bought them to make myself feel better after my dental surgery earlier this week, and they are bringing me just so much joy. So much joy. Condolences for your knee and treat, says Rhodiola. I quite agree. Nice pumpkins. Thank you. Thank you. Gotta love a good gourd. It is one of the best things about this time of year is getting to inexpensively buy some beautiful seasonal decor that once the season is over, it just composts. Perfect. You know? I wish I could eat them, but I don't think that the tiny ones that they sell for decoration are particularly, like, tasty. So, yeah. I have like a cooking pumpkin for that, which is also very aesthetic. My cooking pumpkin is actually kind of a funny shape. It's like, instead of being like the usual like near spherical pumpkin, it's kind of like, it kind of goes like, it kind of has a little sort of like a swerve and a curve to it. It's kind of like if you took a butternut squash and just like squashed it down so it was much more squat. It's kind of like that. And I think sometimes they shellac the little ones. Yeah, not gonna be delicious, but they are very aesthetically pleasing, and just looking at them makes me go like, I'm happy. So, yeah, yay. Oh, well, the owl has eyes. I'm happy with that. I feel like I probably shouldn't go on for too much longer, because I can see how long we've been going on for, and it is getting towards my dinner time. So I think I'm going to leave the line weight for doing off stream tomorrow / over the weekend. Because I think if this turns out nicely, it might become a real bookmark that people can have. And if I do end up doing that, I probably want to do that sooner rather than later. So, in the meantime, I'm going to find someone for us to raid. Let's take a little look-see and see who's online. And thanks once again to everyone for like hanging out today. It's been very, very, very fun getting to chill with you and do nifty little art things. So yes, who's online? Who's someone we haven't raided in a wee while? I don't know, because my memory is a sieve. So let me have a little look-see. We just rated that person a few days ago. Okay. Alright, cool. I'm just gonna check and make sure that the user that we are about to raid is not just about to finish, because that would be real silly. But let me take a little look and see what they're up to. Okay. If they are just about to finish, I'll find someone else, because that's also silly. Oh, beans, okay, they've been going for like 4 hours, but they're definitely still working on stuff, so what the hey. Let's go say hi to Peppermint Swirl, who's working on some cute stuff from the looks of it. Here's a generic raid message. And I'll be back tomorrow morning playing just a little bit of Silk Song. You might have heard of it, just a very obscure little indie game that came out a couple months ago. There's a generic raid message if you want it. If you want to grab the raid message, if you have the emotes, feel free to grab the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message or append any cool emotes that you do have. It's all good. I will be back tomorrow morning, as I just said. My brain is porridge, and I need to go eat mashed potatoes and frozen peas that I have steamed. Not directly from frozen. That would be worse. Anyways, I probably didn't need to clarify that, but I did it anyways. Thank you so much, y'all. You're all breathtaking. It's been lovely hanging out with you. Take care, good night, and good luck.